Wheel of Doom.
All right, if you guys don't know, the Wheel of Doom, we do at the end of the show. We have a bunch of topics on here and we shuffle them up. We're going to spin it, and whatever it lands on, we're going to discuss for the next 10 minutes or so. You guys can give us suggestions for topics as well. Looks like we're chatting about school lunch. Let's go.
Now, this can go many ways. This can go in ways of what you brought to school lunch,
Okay.
or even hot lunch. When you got when I was a kid, it was like $1.25 for hot lunch. So I think it can go either way here. So what are you thinking? What do you?
Did you guys have cafeterias that
Yes.
were
Yes.
at your
Yeah.
school? Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
I did not.
Oh,
Really?
No cafeteria
Where did you eat
at
lunch?
any school. So we had like a lunchroom. There was no like warm food there. It was just
So you had to
brought what
bring
you
lunch
had, and there
every
was
day.
tables. Yeah, there was a
Wow.
microwave in there. You could microwave your lunch if you brought it with you.
one
But-
microwave for everyone.
Yeah. I live in
There's
a
a-
pretty small town.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So did you have like a go-to lunch that you would bring every day, or like a certain snack that you would enjoy?
I mean, elementary school, it was going to be like fruit by the foot. I remember when fruit by the
Yeah.
foot was a big thing. Fruit roll-ups, Dunkaroos. Oh,
Yeah.
I
So more
love me some
snacks
Dunkaroos.
than like
Yeah, lots
sandwiches.
of, I remember a lot of the snacks
Okay.
more than the. I'm
Okay.
sure it was like whatever my mom made the night before would end up in
Yeah.
my lunch. But
Now, did
sandwiches,
you
probably
bring
peanut butter and jelly.
did you brown bag it, or did you have a lunchbox?
I had a lunchbox, but it was like one of like the soft lunch boxes. I never
Oh,
had
yeah,
any
yeah.
of the
Yeah,
cool
you
lunch
like rolled
boxes
up.
with
Mhm.
like
The
something like
insulation.
that. And then
one.
I brown bagged it when I was older,
Yeah.
or I just went across the street to A&W.
I feel
Oh,
like brown bagging it in like when you were in elementary school, like a lot of the older kids did it. So like if you were a younger kid and you brown bagged it, like you were cool. But like if you had a lunchbox, not so much. You were like still a little kid. So I don't know. Maybe that was just my school, or maybe whatever. But that's just my experience anyway.
Fair enough.
But what about you, Russ? Did you have a lot of hot lunches, or did you brown bag it, or?
So I had because we were poor, I got the free lunch.
Nice.
That's
Ain't
my-
no shame.
I grew up. My parents divorced when I was very little, so I was able to get free lunch at school. I
Okay.
definitely, obviously, remember Friday's pizza day. You get your rectangle pizza
Mm-hmm.
on every Friday, and like maybe once a month they would do it on like French bread pizza.
Yes.
And I was
Yeah.
like, that was
Yeah.
awesome. I love
Yeah.
those. And then my other go-to was the chicken sandwiches, and I would just put ketchup on them. So now anytime I go to McDonald's and I get the chicken sandwich, I still do ketchup. And when I graduated, a few years after, I had known someone that was still in school, and I had them get me a chicken sandwich from the
Nice.
cafeteria.
Nice. I remember used to bring a lot of lunches, right? We used to, when I was in grammar school, it was really cool. Like we had we didn't have a lunchroom. We had a gymnasium that had tables that would fold into the walls. And so during lunchtime, there would be a big table that they would pull out of the wall, as well as like these benches that were on each side of it, and it would be basically benches and the table coming out of the wall. Used to have hot lunch there, but I also remember you used to be able to just go up there and get a snack as well. So you can get like chips, you can get an ice cream bar, different kind of ice cream. So it was always a treat when my mom would give us money for a snack in addition to us bringing our lunches. I remember we had boxes, and we had all of our brown bags and stuff like that. Um, I mean, I remember the fruit snacks, but I also remember, mom making us a sandwich. We used to get the cold cuts every week. My dad had the grocery store, so he used to bring home cold cuts, and we used to make sandwiches for lunches every day. and put that in the lunchbox. I don't think we
Nice.
really used the thermoses all that much, though. I think we pretty much used just like juice boxes and stuff, though. I don't think we brought actual thermoses. Um,
Gotcha.
and then when we were, and then fast forward to when I was in high school, um, our cafeteria was open like for the morning when you showed up at school before you went to homeroom, and then for lunch. So like in the morning, you were able to go through the line and
That's right, and get breakfast.
breakfast sandwiches, fries,
Wow.
whatever. And then when you were um, there for lunchtime, you could just go up there and it's just a la carte, as opposed to grammar school where you got like a tray and it
Mhm.
was various, 5 things that you would get on your tray. So I used to bring money all the time and just get like the biggest thing was the boat of French fries. So
Okay.
the French fries were always popular in high school. And funny, Russ should mention Friday uh,
Pizza day.
was pizza day because Friday is pizza day at my daughter's school. And that's pretty much the only day during the week that she gets lunch is she has Friday pizza
Pizza.
day. And then she'll get a snack or something, during the week.
Mhm.
And usually she'll get like a bag of chips or an ice cream or something like that. So I feel like it's pretty similar to like when I was in grammar school as well.
I was gonna say with, how they divide it up, I wonder if they still do, much like your school, they when I went to high school, you can grab the breakfast in the morning
Yeah.
kinda before your first period, and then
Hmm.
you would have a class, but then there was so you would get assigned when lunch is, and the first, opportunity to have lunch was still at, like, 10 in the morning or something, like,
Right.
maybe you had 2 classes and then you had to go to lunch, and I'm like, "It's still breakfast. I gotta have
Yeah. Right.
lunch now?" And then it's like,
Yeah.
"I'm hungry when I get out of school."
Yeah. It's true. It's true. I don't remember. I remember our high school. We had a ton of people in our lunchroom, and I don't really remember. I don't remember if we had certain times or anything like that. I think we must have because the school was pretty big. But I went to a private school, so
Oh,
there was
okay.
way less students than a public school. I mean,
Gotcha.
I know the public school in Hamden where I grew up, I think they had like over 1,000 kids,
Mhm.
and the school that I went to, maybe 300 or 400. I don't know. It was an all boys private school
Okay.
in West Haven. I went to Notre Dame, so Russ
Oh,
knows
okay.
about Notre Dame. Yeah.
Mhm.
So, did you go to West Haven High?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so did you guys have a lot of students there?
I'd say so. Mhm.
Yeah, so
It's pretty
they
bad.
probably broke up lunches and stuff. But
Yeah,
Keith, like
definitely.
for your lunches, um, so did you ever take advantage of the like was it a cool thing to take advantage of the microwave?
I I like there was a lot of, like, ramen noodle made in that
Okay,
microwave. Like, that was probably a lot. Like, so ours was
Okay.
always our lunch was always at, like, noontime. There was
Mhm.
always
okay,
a lunchtime, so there was never really moving around. It is like that here now, same town, gotten bigger, so the high school now does have like, yeah, they could have their lunch period could be first thing in the morning, right? And then they gotta go all day without
Right.
this
okay,
lunch period. But no, ours was very structured. We did have our spare classes where you would have like, oh, you'd have lunch and then no class and then class after. But um no, yeah, just a big long room with a bunch of old tables and chairs in it. And there was a vending machine in the corner. You could get a chocolate bar or a bag of chips or a pop, but
nice.
or
Forgot
so a
about those.
soda.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, but yeah,
Did you have like so Russ and Keith? Did you guys have like kind of a go-to snack that you would bring with your lunch, like when you brought your own lunch in? Like, do you have any? I know Keith, you mentioned fruit by the foot.
Mhm.
Anything else that you guys can think of, like about the times that we were growing up? Because we're all very close to age.
yeah. I
I mean,
feel
the
I
staple
like
remember
pudding
when
pudding, right?
pudding.
fruit
Oh yeah,
leather was
pudding
that a
was yeah.
thing for a bit?
Fruit fruit
W-
leather?
Yeah, it
Oh,
was
you
like
mean like fruit roll-ups?
yeah, it was like fruit roll-ups. So it was like my mom used
But
to make like fruit leather at home, and it was basically just homemade fruit roll-ups.
Okay.
Right. So
Yeah.
for instance, so Russ, you'll when Gwen starts getting a little older, you'll probably buy these, and they're basically strips of of of
Dried
fruit,
fruit,
you know,
basically.
like
Yeah.
yeah, so it's basically a fruit roll up, but it's just like a flat, I don't know, like looks like basically like the size of your phone.
You just
And it's just like
It's like a
Keith
sheet of
said,
paper that's
it's like leather. It looks like
perfect.
leather.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, those were always yeah. And then you also actually speaking of fruit not fruit by the foot, but fruit roll ups, they then eventually had the cutouts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You remember that? So you used to be able to get different licenses, and then you'd be able to like take, you know, they'd be kind of perforated within
Right.
the
You're
fruit,
like
and then you could
pushing them out.
peel them
And
out,
you're like,
and
here it is.
yeah, and then those things always got stuck to the roof of your mouth
Yeah.
all the time.
I feel like there
But
was
what
a
about
lot of good snacks back then.
yeah? I mean, there's shark bites.
Yeah.
You got to
Yeah.
go with
Definitely miss those.
the great white sharks,
Gushers.
gushers. I still eat gushers. You know they still make those?
Yeah, I had some the other day.
Whenever I'm on a movie set, they always have gushers, and I'm always eating those all day long. Like they're still great. They're a lot smaller than I remember them, but maybe it's just because
Yeah.
my, you know, I got bigger. So
Now we're
I
full
get
grown
bigger.
humans, right?
we're full grown humans, so they got a little bit smaller.
I will say in my cafeteria, this was super unique and like cutting edge at the time, but they ended up putting in, they called it was in our lunchroom, and it was like plexiglass off, and it was the cyber cafe, and they had computers that you can go and use while you're on your lunch break, so you can eat your food and then go into the cyber cafe, and they had like glass doors or whatever so people could see in there. So I remember like surfing the web, and I definitely distinctly remember jumping on eBay and ordering myself a ninja sword
wow.
that I still have. It's at my mom's. I got it, hacked up some tree in the backyard with it, and then just put it away.
How did you
Which,
pay
like,
for it? Was that when you had to like send a check?
I don't even know. The early days of I must have had to send in a check or a money order or something. It wasn't instant. It was probably like I
Wild,
want it. It was send the check in a week, and we'll get it in 3 weeks. But Cyber
wild
Cafe,
time.
I have a
That's
T-shirt
crazy.
somewhere. West Haven High Cyber Cafe.
I feel
Interesting.
like the computer lab was always full at lunchtime too, right? Did you guys
Yeah,
have that
yeah.
too? Like it was always
That
just
must have
packed
been
because that was the only
taking. Yeah,
places where there was computers, right?
right.
Well, so I think you guys are a year younger than me. Is that correct? Because I think I graduated in '98,
Oh, okay. 2000.
Yeah,
2000. What
2000.
about you, Keith? Okay,
Yeah,
so for me, the internet was just starting like my like junior and senior year. So we didn't really have computers in our school, or rather we didn't have internet, I should say. We had like
yeah,
the T3 connections, um and we only I think the school may have only had like 6 or 7 computers in the library, and there's not really much you could do for internet stuff. So
Right.
I think you guys got a little bit more experience with that than I did for high school anyway.
yeah,
Definitely made school lunch interesting.
yeah.
Nice.